Hi, this is Jonathan Davis in association with CardRunners.com. Today is going to be part one of a brand new video series, and really what I want to focus on this video series is Leakfinding my play from late 2012 to late 2013, and just really going over all the fundamental problems that were in my game, and just to show you how much the games have changed in my opinion, if you really want to be not only leaving a lot of money on the table, not leaving a lot of money on the table rather, and more importantly just having a very solid range-based game and both math-based. And what I want to do here is I want to outline a process, an analytical process for actually leak finding in general, as well as obviously myself, which will be the focus of this series. And what we're really going to do is we're going to review my stats. It's a 120,000 hand sample from basically 2013. And then we're really going to try to determine potential leaks from that hand sample, which is what we're going to be doing today. And then we're going to review cases that actually match those leaks. More or less, we're going to be filtering different hand histories and just trying to find situations that actually match those leaks. And then lastly, we're going to be making corrections or changes to our game, and then setting a plan or goals to make sure those corrections or changes are permanent, and we actually understand exactly why we made that change or correction in our game. So exactly what we're going to do next is a little bit of a nifty function that you can do with Hold'em Manager. I just want to bring it over for a minute here. Just collapse this really quick. So, like I said, we're going to be looking at 120,000 hand sample, and really that's going to be all the hands I played on PokerStars in this database for 2013 more or less. And what you can do here, it's really nice, is if you ever want to work with Excel using the different tables in Hold'em Manager, Poker Tracker. I'm not sure if Poker Tracker has this ability, but I assume it does. You can just right-click on the data, and then you can save grid as an CSV file. Never actually said that before. And then from there, you can import the data into Excel, into a worksheet like this, and we can really do some interesting things with this. And so what I want to do is I want to go over each column, or rather each data point, in this list basically, which is exactly what we just saw. And what I'm going to do is if I think a number, or rather a statistic, is something we're going to look at, I'm going to label it as yellow for neutral. Well, it says neutral here, but it means we're going to potentially look at it. And if I know something is just inherently bad, or rather is just a leak and it's definitely something we're going to discuss, then I'll label that as red. So let's get into it without wasting too much time. So going down the VPIP percentage list here, the two things that stick out to me, which I'm going to definitely mark, are these two numbers, and this one's definitely close to. Whoops, I misclicked. That's normal. So the main reason why these two are bad is that I was definitely not playing enough hands from the big blind. As I talked about in my last series, that playing out of position is not only important, but it is part of any winning player strategy. You really cannot just be playing very tight out of position and expecting to, let alone be a winning player, or even a player who makes a very solid earnings from the game. And then lastly, obviously, I need to be playing many more hands in position. So these are both leaks. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but because these are both very transparent things, and it's fairly obvious how to fix these leaks, whereas some of the other things we're going to be focusing on this video series are not so obvious, these will not be things we're going to be covering. So I am actually going to make them green, which means that they're not good, but it means they are leaks, but we're not going to be looking at them. And so with that said, we'll keep moving on. Preflop raise doesn't really matter. If you notice, I have a reasonable gap here, which I think is absolutely fine. PLO is a game where you really don't need to have the initiative, and you don't even need to have the initiative so much in No Limit Hold'em, but for the most part, preflop equities matter much more in Hold'em, so the gap is obviously going to be less.